I want to thank everyone for showing up today. This is Beacon Falls' 150th birthday. And just for the record, the official birthday is on Wednesday, the 30th of June. We are obviously celebrating today because it was just going to be the best day of the week to celebrate, because they're talking about some pretty heavy thunderstorms later in the week. So again, thank you very much for everyone to be here. And so we would like to begin with the presentation of our colors. I'm introducing American Legion Schaefer Fisher Post 25. Please stand. And to sing our national anthem, Arlena Machad.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And again, thank you, Arlena. Again, a fantastic job.
Enjoy today. Here's our Lieutenant Governor, Susan Beiswitz.
Oh my goodness, if my timing was that good every day. So congratulations and happy 150th anniversary to beautiful Beacon Falls. This town has had such a rich history since its incorporation on June 30th, 1871. And in addition to agriculture, your community was really shaped by industry and manufacturing. Beacon Falls was home to the Beacon Falls Rubber Shoe Company, which produced nationally known top-notch rubber boots and shoes. And by 1918, that company employed 1,500 people and had 110 traveling salespeople all across the country. And here's something you might not know. The first friction matches were made in Beacon Falls in 18 34 by Thomas Sanford, so no more rubbing sticks, right? And I was really interested to read last week in the Waterbury Republican American that this town was also home to Home Woolen Company, and its superintendent and other local business people at the time petitioned the state legislature in 1870 to name the town Home. So obviously that didn't work out, right? The legislature always has such a history of listening to people, right? And although Home wasn't the name that you ended up with, I know from so many people, my friends who live here and the businesses that are here, that you really take pride in Beacon Falls being your beautiful home. This is a small community of about 6,000 people, and I know that you are a town with a really big heart. You care about other people who live here, and over the past few decades, there has been lots of new retail, manufacturing, construction, and service businesses that have located here. And of course, you have many beautiful spots for fishing and kayaking and canoeing along the Naugatuck River. And so Beacon Falls should be very, very proud of all that you've accomplished over the past 150 years. And of course, the sun has come out to celebrate this great birthday party. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody who had a hand in making this celebration possible. I see all these ladies and gentlemen, Sue Cable, Lenny Green, all my friends who have served this beautiful town so well. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your great service. And thank you to Pete Betkoski and Michael Kraneski for co-chairing this anniversary committee, and to all that made this beautiful celebration possible. And I have a little birthday card to give. It's a citation congratulating Beacon Falls on the 150th anniversary. So who would like to accept it? Well, you are the best dressed in the house. Look at this outfit. So it is my pleasure to give you this citation from Governor Lamont, wishing Beacon Falls a very, very happy 150th anniversary.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant Governor Susan Byaswitch. You don't know how special Beacon Falls is to her. She really made a point to be here today. She has a busy schedule, and I'm really blessed. I could call her a dear friend and thank her for being here. Now, here's another gentleman, a dear friend of mine, Dick Blumenthal, Senator Dick Blumenthal, who was adamant on being here today. And here he is. They both have short windows, but their staff and me were going back and forth all week. I'm paving driveways. They're, setting up the schedule. But here we are, Senator Dick Blumenthal.
Thank you. Thank you so much. First of all, another round of applause for Michael Kraneski and Peter Betkoski, who devoted so much work and energy today. I am personally so grateful to you for celebrating this anniversary. I know Beacon Falls' anniversary is 3 days away, but my 39th wedding anniversary is today. So when you just heard I'm on a short leash today, I'm on a short leash. So we are gathering in our household to celebrate with our 4 children. They're not all going to be there physically, but in the age of Zoom, they will be there in some way. And there are very few events and very few towns and very few people who could provide a legitimate reason for me to say to my wife, Cynthia, I have to be there. This is one of them. And the reason is that you are such great people. You know, whenever I have come to Beacon Falls, and it's more times than I can count, as Attorney General and now as United States Senator over 30 years, I've always felt welcome, even when I came on an issue of controversy, no matter what the issue. You've always opened your arms and your thoughts and your hearts, and that's the reason that Beacon Falls is so special. This 150th anniversary gives us an opportunity to thank all of the people who have provided leadership to keep it special. A lot has changed. I know part of this celebration is going to be a drone show, right? Well, John Wolfe, at the time of his home woolen company, and he was one of the original founders of Beacon Falls, could never have imagined that there would be drones as part of a celebration of the town. A lot else has changed. But what's constant really is the integrity, the pride, the patriotism, the dedication of the people of Beacon Falls to Connecticut and all that makes our state so special. So I have a certificate of recognition from the Senate of the United States. In my rush to leave my house this morning, I forgot it, but it's in the mail. It will be here, and I'm really proud to help celebrate this wonderful time. Beacon Falls, thank you for all you do to make Connecticut great, to make our nation great. Thanks for all the leadership and caring and generosity that you provided over many years. And thanks for recognizing the importance of history, of remembering where we're from, no matter how far we go. We are always our history, and that's why Beacon Falls is so special today. Thanks so much for having me. Have a great day.
All right, so we're going to fall back into the program as we had it planned, and I just want to give you just another quick story to understand where you came from. The year was 1635. There was a ship called the Planter, and on that ship were a bunch of immigrants coming from England. On that ship was a young family by the name of William, Margaret, and their young 2-year-old son, John. They landed in Boston in 1635, stayed in that area until 1639, when the Massachusetts Bay Colony said, hey, there's this big river just to our west called the Connecticut. I think it's time we start moving out of Boston because it's getting awfully crowded here. You know, the 4,000 people that lived in the Boston area at the time, and they felt that they were already having sprawl from all the people that had moved into town. So anyway, so this young family made the trek from Boston, Massachusetts, ended up in New Haven, and finally settled in Stratford, Connecticut. I only tell this story because we were talking, or you heard several of the dignitaries talk about our proud history here in the state of Connecticut, not just Beacon Falls. And our roots go deep. That young man, his wife, and young son was my great, did I count them all? 9th great-grandfather, who was one of the founding fathers in not only Stratford, but in the state of Connecticut. So deep roots here. And the only reason I really tell this story is because of a very proud woman that sits over here, who is my mother, Beverly, who hosted and shared the 100th anniversary and is here today. And I just wanted to make sure that I recognized her. And again, a shout out to our family who is here. And I apologize for taking advantage of the microphone. For the next few minutes, it looks like they've already started. We've had pizza delivered. We have the coffee truck is open. The cannoli truck is dishing out cannolis. And folks, they're free. Oh, I just got a call that that first batch of pizza has already gone, and so it'll be about 2:15. So that means that Jerry, George, one of you want to come up here and talk longer, or again? So I want to thank everybody here, especially our committee. Again, we worked hard to make this happen. As Peter said earlier, we didn't know with COVID whether we'd be able to sit here today. We're here, and thank you, Beacon Falls, for coming out. It's a great show here. Visit our vendors. Again, a big shout out to Beacon Hose Company #1. If you're looking for hot dogs, see that window over there. They're coming out faster than you can ask for them. So anyway, again, Schaefer Fisher Post, again, thank you for coming and being our color guard. Arlena, if you are still here, thank you for singing our national anthem. And everyone, enjoy the rest of the day. It is warm. As far as I know, there is no lifeguard down by the river, but take your choice. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of the day. And again, thank you for being here and celebrating the 150th anniversary of Beacon Falls.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the incorporation of the town of Beacon Falls, Connecticut. I'm Fred Simpson, and I'm going to start with some name dropping. Marion Bradley was Beacon Falls pharmacist for 15 years, caregiver in effect, who went that extra mile for her customers. And Brian DeGeorge, automotive skills, fire chief and fire marshal of Beacon Hose 1. Busy, but always has time to be kind. I wrote this song before moving here. Marion and Brian surely fit the bill. It's called Kindness. What is the name of my religion? Kindness, kindness to my fellow man. Sets me up just like a pigeon at times, yes, but my spirit always wins. And when I do what I know is right, it makes me feel so good inside. Kindness, I'm talking about kindness. Just a little kindness. Try it sometime. Be kind. Homeless lady acting spacey. Could just be loneliness. I'll say hello to her and maybe she and I just might connect. When I do what I know is right, it makes me feel so good inside. Kindness. Talking about kindness. Just a little kindness. Try it sometime. Be kind. Kindness, oh so inconvenient. Makes you late, dirties your hands. Had to ask myself the question, why am I kind again and again? 'Cause I can live with myself that way. And I don't really care what people think or say about my kindness. It comes back to you, kindness, when you least expect it to. Kindness, I give it from my heart. Kindness, I try to do my part, and when I do what I know is right, makes me feel so good inside. Kindness, talking about kindness, just a little kindness. Try it sometime. Be kind, kindness. Just a little kindness. Talking about kindness. try it sometime. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for enduring the heat. Thank you. So, we moved here from our New York City high-rise over 5 years ago. I feel like a baby compared to First Selectman Smith, 35 years. Selectman Mike Koneski, whose roots are going back to 1635. Anyway, we moved here from a New York City high-rise over 5 years ago, largely on a whim and with a little push from rising Manhattan rents. Checked it out 3 times, and each time felt right. Only thing I miss is my unobstructed view of sunrise on the East River, where I wrote a book of 24 poems to the sun. This is not one of them. Refreshing novelty for me, a city boy to wait for geese to cross the ramp of Route 8 North's exit 23. Took me a while to realize I could breathe the air in deep. Unlike where we used to be, high above Manhattan's heavily trafficked FDR Drive. Here, no steady din of cars, no buildup of monoxide. Here, the air is sometimes swept with lavender. More often pine. In the valley Naugatuck, low-slung mountains couch a mist so soft, I want to touch. Fairy tale houses nestle among deciduous and pine. Nature hypnotic in these hills that stretch up way too high, impede my line of sight west to east. At dawn it hurts sometimes, I cannot see you rise. But chromatic skies, your canvases are etched indelibly for my recall. So no regrets relocating north to Beacon Falls. In the valley Naugatuck. From camouflage of stubborn November leaves, a muster of crows startles me, a smile. Of all the flora and fauna in the valley, I love the bright white leaves of the dogwood trees, and above all, I love the birds. I hear you birds are singing, soon to be on the wing, heading from New England to far off southern climes. You know when winter's coming and how it brings the snow. Got to learn your lingo to hear when you will fly. Got to learn your lingo so I can tweet goodbye. Spring's a long way off, my friends, until we tweet again. Got to learn your lingo so I can tweet goodbye. Right outside my window is one majestic pine. You love to perch there on return. How I love to watch you. Pleasure is all mine. You know when winter's over and you'll be flying home. Got to learn your lingo so I can tweet hello when I see that you return from far off southern climes. Got to learn your lingo so I can tweet hello. Spring's a long way off, my friends, until we tweet again. Got to learn your lingo, so I'm not surprised to find that you've already flown to far off southern climes. Got to learn your lingo, so I can tweet goodbye. 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 Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, the natural beauty of the landscape in and around Beacon Falls is a poet's dream. Matthews Park, High Rock, and Toby's Pond. Buffered from the highway sounds is Toby's Pond, serene, boating, glide motorless, fish. Landlubbers sit, meditate beneath the open-air shelter at water's edge, your mind free to focus or drift. Toby's Pond. Toby, Native American, 12 years a slave, secured New London, Connecticut at 6 years old and raised by Captain Ebenezer Johnson, freed in 1688. Toby purchased from the Pawcatuck tribe, 1693, one large tract of land, mountain and stream, in the valley Naugatuck, on both sides of the river, so named. I want to stand where Toby stood, survey the land he purchased for 10 pounds and a barrel of cider. I want to hear the rushing brook fed by falls not high but beautiful, not steep but deep in how they touch the spirit, their source much older than the town that bears their name. The falls for me are rooted deep, somehow a source of wonder. So, anybody know the real story behind G.I. Joe? I was surprised to learn that G.I. Joe was not based on a real soldier or even an archetype of one. G.I. Joe was a homing pigeon, one of a flying squadron trained by the Pigeoneers of World War II to deliver 215 classified messages during the Italy invasion. I learned this from conversations with Frank Miz, staunch World War II veteran, born in Beacon Falls, and the oldest person I ever knew. He passed away April of 2020 at the age of 103. Frank was part of what I call new history, tidbits and more conveyed by the living, shedding light, clarifying from memory things of the past. Also part of new history was Robert G. Mesner. Some of you firefighters here would know him. Bob, of Bob and Betty, known to some as B&B. They were kind enough to invite me into their home where they shared personal perspectives on much town history. Bob passed away in March of this year at 91 years old. He was the longest serving member of Beacon Holes 1 and in several capacities, including engineer and captain of the fire police. Bob was known to be very giving and very handy, always ready and willing to help. The good energy of Bob and Betty Mesner calls to mind those wonderful handmade signs that lined Riverwalk along Main Street. From North Main down to south, from the Depot Street Bridge to opposite the bank called Liberty, was on display the very soul of a town, there for all to see. Along Riverwalk, Main Street's west side, signs handmade with love contained messages of hope and strength and pride. The soul of a town on parade, for those who didn't have a clue, or maybe were just passing through, the signs said it all about the people of Beacon Falls. Across all demographics, signs symbolized the face and heart of us, living legacy of those who persevered through wars, floods, economic strife, whatever came down the pike, persevered with kindness and charm. From North Main down to south, from the Depot Street Bridge to opposite the bank called Liberty, was on display the very soul of a town, reflected in signs handmade, and there for all to see. Across from Riverwalk is Beacon Mill Village. Starting in 1853, and you've heard some of these factories mentioned already. Starting in 1853, the Beacon Mill housed a series of factories. Two were most significant. Through the efforts of Agent John Wolfe, the Home Woolen Company in 1864 was the start of the factory site as economic and social lifeblood of the town. Affixed to 2 North Main Street, a plaque proclaims, "The Home Woolen Company complex has been recorded on the National Register of Historic Places, indicating that this site possesses national significance in commemorating the history of Beacon Falls and the United States of America." Also of note, the Beacon Falls Rubber Shoe Company, which you've heard mentioned earlier, 1898, of the famous Top Notch label that eventually became Uniroyal in 1961. Propelled by George and his son Tracy Lewis, production was up to 5.5 million pairs of what became known as sneakers in 1920. Mid-1980s, the factory site converted to residential occupancy, replete with pool, gym, dog park, tennis court, picturesque stream with fountain, and 182 individual floor plans, many with very high wood plank ceilings. Yes, dog park. Distinguished by 2 19th century Romanesque revival towers, Beacon Mill Village continues the factory tradition of well benefiting the town, now as the architectural centerpiece of downtown Beacon Falls. Residents, and I am one, can enjoy all its amenities while actually getting to live in history. I consider Toby the early founder of Beacon Falls. His land purchase accounts for much of the town's area and boundaries today. And I consider John Wolfe of Home Woolen and Tracy Lewis of the Rubber Shoe Company visionaries for contributing, each in their own way, to the establishment of Beacon Falls as an independent town. I don't see Mike, but I would like to thank Mike Kreneski, President of the Beacon Falls Historical Society, for sharing with me his genuine enthusiasm for the history of this town. And thank you all. Thank you. Thank you for being here in the heat. I'd like to end on a happy note with a happy song. This is called Happy Sound. This is a happy sound for those no longer with us, dedicated to the memory of their love and history, a joyful sound. To those who were creative, continue to inspire us, long after they've returned to dust. To those of us who've gone to higher ground, we send this happy sound, happy sound, happy sound, happy sound, happy sound.
How you doing? Hanging in? From the 100th anniversary. They have the ones from the 100th anniversary. The real ones, $5. The ones that are from this year are $5. And other coin is $2. Yes, you do. Right, Walt, remember? Oh, I can run there. I'll walk there.
And to those who, while among us, reached out and touched us in their everyday routine, always living chin up, although they'd had enough of the pain they did not want us to see. We send this happy sound to those no longer with us, dedicated to the memory of their love and history, a joyful sound for those who were creative, continue to inspire us, long after they've returned to dust. To those of us who've gone to higher ground, we send this happy sound, happy sound, happy sound, happy sound, happy sound. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.